Hey everyone, this is Master Jedi Adam with the last of my multi-part series on how to use the Star Wars LCG plugin for LackeyCCG. As mentioned before, these last three videos have been more about LackeyCCG than about Star Wars LCG, but I find them to be very helpful, so I'm going to walk you through this last piece, which is the preferences. So starting from left to right, as always, and from top to bottom, the player profile is where you'll type in your own information. As you can see, there's my name, email, Skype, what color I would like. So in the previous videos, you saw that I was blue. I can change it to any of these colors. Now, and if you remember, when I was playing earlier, I had the Luke Skywalker with his lightsaber drawn. Let's say I wanted to change my avatar. I can actually click on this, and each one of you, if you've used the auto update to get the plugin, have all of these Star Wars avatars loaded, about 75 or so of them, and a couple of extras. But let's say that I wanted to use Boss Nass. I could select him and hit choose, and now if I were to go to the player, you'll notice, ta-da, there's Boss Nass. Isn't that wonderful? Alright, this button here lets me save my profile just as it is. Next is appearance. And this is the second, or maybe we'll only do one more after this. But this one is actually pretty important. If you want to see the timestamps in the logs, you would click that button. Use images for drawing table markings. I have this selected, that's how you get the arrows and the X's. Show turn phase images. Our plugin doesn't allow it, so you can click it or not have it clicked. Locking the window resize bars, I just clicked this. This would actually, because of how it is now I can't move these bars anywhere. But by going back to preferences and unselect or deselecting this, I can now move this stuff around. If I wanted to change my background image, that's how I would do it. This is the default image, but let's say I wanted to choose one of these others. There are a couple of other options. And look for some new options very, very soon. Font preferences, if I wanted to change what the fonts looked like, don't need to worry about any of those. What I would suggest is that you keep the playmat set to the Dejaric table, but you could change this to like a felt table for pool if you wanted. Here's the quick the quick zoom. Again, if you wanted to zoom very quickly, there's a way to do that, which I didn't show you. This is if you needed to see a grid. And flip table playmat image when sitting opposite seat 1. This would be if I wanted to rotate an image around, which will come into play with the next update because I'll be adding some very cool playmats to the functionality here. The last thing I want to demonstrate to you is this last area, which is card appearance preferences. You'll notice opponent's cards on table always face you. This is the cards always face you. If you don't like that, then just unselect, then deselect it. And mark card viewer image pop out on mouse over. This is what I was using so that I could see the entire objective. The last one, the last piece on here is set or select card counter style. If you want text over the images, if instead of seeing the counters, the focus tokens, for example, you wanted to see numbers, you would click text over image instead. My suggestion is that you keep it at images only, and then you can set how large you want those icons to be, up to 100%, and that would of course be like the fantastic April Fool's Day image that, or video that Team Covenant pushed out maybe 2 years ago with their tokens and the massive focus tokens. And this of course lets you save. Key bindings, I would suggest that you don't mess with this too much. This is fairly advanced, but if you want quick keys, you can do that. Chat and macros, these are what define the buttons that I explained earlier. You can see how I wrote the script for these various buttons so that you can mulligan or get a whole hand of cards, for example. Skins. This is if you want to change the image of or the way that Lackey looks. Look for some custom built skins for me in the next update. Sound. This is if I wanted to add sounds. Right now I have all the sounds turned off, but when you enable the sound you could test all of these. For example, the welcome image sounds like this. And that's why I turned it off, because it's very loud relative to everything else. Performance, this lets you tell it how many images it can load and a bunch of other things. And miscellaneous, again, are just more options. If you're not getting the play experience that you want, I suggest looking through the preferences and just playing around with it. Most of them are fairly self-explanatory. Speaking of self-explanatory, I hope that this was helpful and explanatory in nature. And thank you much for watching all the videos, and as always, may the Force be with you.